For my part of the Elizabethan costume project, I had the cloak. Some interesting facts about the cloak was it was usually decorated with laces, gold ribbons, silver, and glass jewels. Most of the time you could find it made out of cloth, velvet, silk, and taffeta. The color, fabric, and material was dictated by the sumptuary laws. It was one of the most common garment in human clothing history. It was used by cultures across time and the globe. Some penalties for violating the sumptuary laws could be harsh. They could lose their property, their title, or even their life. A cloak is usually an outer garment varying in length, commonly worn over one shoulder, sometimes leaving the sword arm free with many different styles. On the left here we have the Dutch. It was usually a short cape with sleeves. It could be waist length, hip length, or fingertip length. And it was usually 1/2 of a circle or 3/4 of a circle. On the very right, there's the Spanish cloak. It was usually short, large. It had a decorative hood that hung down the back. At the bottom left, we have the French cloak. It was usually long, often with a shoulder-length mantle over it. And then we have the Hornet. It was the most common. It was decorated and hung with points and tassels. The points were lacings with metal ends, which were used instead of using the button or hooks for fastening together such clothes as the doublets and the hose. The cloak also helped show people, it was a perfect opportunity for people to display one's rank and position in the status, in social status. Here we have the royalty, who they were allowed to wear purple on any clothing made from silk. On the right we have the dukes, which could be made from velvet. Their cloaks usually are made out of crimson color or scarlet. Then we have the knights, which usually are made from a gilt, which is a coat with a gold-colored substance in it. They were usually indigo blue or deep blue colors. They're usually made more for the color could also be used on the cloaks, jerkins, gowns, and purses. And on the very right, we have the lower class men who had green. Theirs are usually made from cheap wool, linen, and sheepskin. Their colors could be brown, beige, yellow, orange, or green, or blue, but not a deep indigo blue to be like the knights. And it usually was and if you did not follow them, usually people got in trouble, or they usually put to death.